What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe, No Days Off DFS, here to bring you another NBA preseason breakdown for we got a four-game slate today. If you guys are new here and you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the content that we're rolling out over here on the channel, and drop a thumbs up if this video helps you in any way, shape, or form. Now, I know today is football Sunday, so typically everything's going to be focused on football. As we can tell, of course, we have 4 games, and it's only a 1K to first contest that we have for the big contest today for the NBA. Kind of to be expected, and it's the same thing whenever we actually have the regular season rolling around. Sunday contests, especially when NFL is going on, are always smaller, typically because of the NFL and other sports that are going on. But hey, there's still money to be won. There's still some big contests for the higher level stuff, the higher level stakes, and we can still take advantage of some of these things like that. So without further ado, let's actually do a recap of yesterday. So yesterday's games were not the prettiest, I will admit, but they weren't bad in a sense. So looking at it, the biggest thing that we had from the first game was just trying to figure out exactly who we're going to play from the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks. We got word that Brunson wasn't going to play in the second half, and I was in chat really just going back and forth with like, don't know what I want to do in regards to this. Really, it's just going to be Quick. Quick was the only one that I wanted. Of course, Quick played 22 minutes and probably had one of his worst shooting games and just turnover prone. Didn't get any fantasy points until the second half when he actually ended up starting for when Brunson was out. But if you went ahead and you played RJ Barrett, who got run into the third quarter, played really well out there. One of his better shooting nights. Definitely listening to the broadcast, seems like a focus for his is getting to the rim and converting at the free throw line, which he did in this game. He did very well. Went out there, 23 points, 9 or 12 from free throw line. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And then, of course, off the bench, with Quick not having the best game in the world, Evan Fournier, I did mention him in the video yesterday. If you wanted to take a wild, crazy stab, Evan Fournier is someone who I've watched quite a few of the interviews and stuff for the Knicks, and he has repeatedly said that he has a lot left in the tank. He knows he can help this team win. And through 2 preseason games, he truly has actually shown that knocking down his shot and looks very good. So definitely might have to keep my eye on Fournier as a cheap, sneaky value, especially if some players were to miss time during the season. Definitely be paying attention to him. And then McBride came in. He had a pretty good game. For the Timberwolves, of course, it was always Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards were the 2 main 2 that we're going to focus on them. And then Nas Reed off the bench. And then in chat, again, I had mentioned Shake Milton. I said with the fact that word had came out again right before tip that the Timberwolves starters probably might not play into the third quarter. So with that news, it was like, all right, well, if they're not going to play into the third quarter, I really already don't like Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the starting lineup. He's not really a great producer anyway. Shake Milton is who I wanted. I said that repeatedly. I was like, Shake and Nas are like the 2 main 2 that you want from Minnesota, and then possibly Karl-Anthony Towns. And it worked out. And then from the late game, even though Shaedon Sharpe, he didn't start, we already knew that Lauri Markkanen, lock. I said that on stream. Lauri, he's locked. Just go ahead and play him. And then from there, really is not too much appealing from the Jazz. You can take a chance on Walker Kessler or something like that, but it's really just Lauri Markkanen from them. And then from over here, of course, it was going to be Scoot and Shaedon Sharpe were the 2 main 2, the 2 young guys who, of course, once again, seen hella run. But then Anthony Simons coming out there, man, on fire. Lit it up. And if you play Anthony Simons, you had a pretty decent night. If you played all 3 of these guards, Simons, Henderson, and Shaedon Sharpe, you looked very good on the night. And then from the Jazz, if you went ahead and you played Keontae George, who as well, another one that we mentioned yesterday on the stream, went out there, lit it up, looked really good. So we're looking in the right direction when it comes down to a lot of identifying the things out here on the slate. And that's all that you can do whenever it comes down to it. All right, so getting into today's slate. Really haven't seen too much news. Hopefully we actually have Miami Heat guys playing. Of course, there's no news for that yet. Last news that we got was everything for Friday. So all these Q tags, there's not too much that we can go off of when it comes down to it for the Miami Heat. As you can see, this is literally the rotation that they had last game going up against the Spurs. If those guys were to somehow miss again today, of course, it's going to put players again in consideration, such as Kane, Drew Smith. You can look at Orlando Robinson, all those 3, and I'll say Duncan Robinson, if he was to get started again, would be the main guys that I would look to again if these guys were to miss. Now, if they're in, Tyler Hero is going to be the main one, young guy, and Jaquez will be the main 2 that I would actually consider from Kyle Lowry, unless you're going to tell me that Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo are going to get third quarter run. If we're going to finally see word, because Jimmy hasn't even played in the preseason yet. If we're going to get word that they're going to play about 24, 26 minutes, then I will actually want to take a stab on maybe a Jimmy Butler or a Bam Adebayo or something like that. This is technically a tougher matchup for Bam, going up against Steven Adams in the center rotation over there for Memphis. We don't normally attack them with opposing centers. And you guys are going to start hearing me note that more, is that as the deeper we get into the preseason, when these teams are actually starting to run their actual rotations, is when I will start mentioning more DVP metric stuff, because that is actually when DVP actually starts to come into handy going into this. On the Memphis side, Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., I would hopefully expect for them to start here if they're back. Of course, it's going to be Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. Either one of those two, I will probably play one or the other. Bane has the better matchup over JJJ, but either one of them are fine to play. And then if they're out again, then Salty Aldama, Kenny Lofton Jr., who else was it for the Grizzlies? Jaren Jackson Jr., Gigi Jackson, Zaire Williams. They all become great plays that you can go ahead and run to if Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. are out again. So that would be who you would want to look to and go to right there. And where is he? So yeah, Roddy. Yeah. So those guys would be the main guys that you would want to go to on that side. For Milwaukee, we already know that Giannis and Dame are going to play today. Hasn't been noted how many minutes they're going to play, but if you can tell me that they're going to get into that like third quarter run here, I'm going to play Giannis all day, every day. Like the dude, he's going to have the spacing on the floor, the usage that he still has, even with the Damian Lillard out there playing with him, it should still be pretty good. So definitely Giannis. Definitely don't mind going there. Damian Lillard, you could take a stab at it, but I want to see how he's going to mesh with Giannis out there first. But still, going up against the Lakers might not be a bad matchup for him to go out there and just chuck as he wants to. Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, not really too interested right there. If Giannis and Lillard are only going to play the first half, definitely you can go right back to Beauchamp. Wouldn't mind going right there back to him. Maybe a Pat Connaughton would be someone that you could take a chance on, or Tata Washington would be a couple of other players that you can go to. But really, we just got to get the minute news for the Milwaukee Bucks. If nonetheless, Giannis definitely would be a play from over there. For the Lakers, I would definitely assume that LeBron James is going to sit, since I would expect them to ramp him up on the last game that they're going to play. Now, if we get word that today is going to be the dress rehearsal for the Lakers and LeBron is going to actually play third quarter run, then of course, you could definitely look to playing LeBron. You could definitely look to play Anthony Davis. Nonetheless, D'Angelo Russell, the run that he's been on, he's been playing into the third quarter and things like that. Definitely do not mind going to D'Lo right here, 6,700. His defense, he's actually playing defense. He's knocking down his shot. He's looking for his teammates. All those things. Looks really great out there. D'Lo, definitely in consideration for play. Christian Wood, not with AD and Braun out there. Really don't see the need to go there. Rui, same thing, not with both of them active. Now, if one of them were to miss, definitely you can consider Christian Wood or Rui as well. Torian Prince, he's 3-and-D. He's not really out there for that. Christie, Hoods, Chofin, both of them, we already know that they are out there. They are the rookies that are getting the most backup run. Well, not rookies. They're young guys that are getting the backup run for them. So both of them definitely in consideration, especially if Gabe Vincent was to miss. Give me all the Christie as well. That's some value right there you can go to if Gabe Vincent is out, because he's going to get all the backup minutes for the guards and stuff. For Chicago and Denver, for both of these teams, we just recently seen them play just the other day, and the Bulls starters went into the third quarter. The Nuggets, they only played in the first period, so maybe today we actually get the Nuggets ramped up into the third period. If that's the case, Joker all day, every day. Give me that Joker play. We seen what he did in literally 18 minutes, 17 points, 2 steals, a block, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. You honestly can't beat that production right there. Triple-double upside, legit. Even in the freaking preseason, my man's out there just doing it all. But the Joker definitely in play. If the Bulls are going to run their starters again into the third period, which I kind of hope that they don't, because being a little selfish, your boy's going to NBA preseason game this week. Going to go see the Bulls when they play the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm hoping that I can actually get to see at least 3/4 of the starters for the Bulls. I know who wants to go see the Bulls and the Timberwolves, but your boy's going to be in Chicago, so I want to go and enjoy a basketball game at the same time. And what better way than to go buy some cheap tickets to go see in the preseason? So yeah. Hopefully the starters, for my own selfish gain, play maybe just the first half, and it's not the dress rehearsal just yet. But if they are to play into the second half, again, DeRozan, Zach LaVine, main two guys that you're gonna want to look at from the Chicago side. Either one of them work in this case. Zach LaVine, kind of more all around in regards to what he did going up against the Denver Nuggets in his assisting, rebounding, and also scoring. DeRozan, he really is a second half player. So that's kind of why I shy away from DeRozan and we'll look more towards Zach LaVine anyway. And then Aaron Gordon actually plays some pretty decent defense on DeRozan. DeRozan really didn't get going until that second half when Aaron Gordon wasn't out there anyway. Outside of that, Strother definitely in play. The kid goes out there, lights it up. He does quite a little bit of everything out there for him. Who else can we take from the Nuggets? Over here, Hunter Tyson, he's getting the burn and run out there. Gillespie, another one that you could possibly take a look at. Yeah, so it would be Tyson, Gillespie, but definitely Strother. Strother would probably be the strongest case. He's had back-to-back really good games in the preseason so far. So that would be who I would take for the Denver Nuggets. And the Chicago, it's really just going to be Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan would be my main two guys that I would look to right there. And then off their bench, really no one tickles the whistle over here for them. Maybe you could look to Alex Caruso, but I doubt that he's going to get some decent burn and run. T. Taylor, you could probably look there, but not really looking too heavy on the Bulls side. Golden State Warriors, they played a little bit into the third period last game. If you tell me that they might do that again here, I will have a little bit of consideration for Curry again. Not gonna mess with Chris Paul. He's legit just too assist needy, and he's not really just gonna see those shots there. So it's just gonna really be Curry for me from the starters, and then from the bench, I want Kuminga, Pod, both of those, and Moody. Like that those three right there. And you can take a stab at Gary Payton. Definitely has some production out there, but Pod, Kuminga, and Peyton would be the main guys. And I would honestly probably say Kuminga's almost practically a lock, because looking at it, he's the first one off the bench for them, comes in for Wiggins half the time, and they like what they're getting from Kuminga this season. Like, he's looking really good in preseason. The usage that he gets when he's on the court is ridiculous, and the playmaking upside that he actually has, he's looking for teammates, he's actually getting assists and things like that, looks really good. So I do like Kuminga here in this spot. Either way, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and slide him in. Boom, Kuminga is my lock for the day. Now over here for the Sacramento Kings side, I would imagine that they're going to continue to ramp up their starters minutes. So Sabonis, Fox should hopefully play again into the third period here. If they are, flip a coin. Either one of these guys, I don't mind. But you can't go wrong with playing both of them at all. Definitely Sabonis, Fox, love both of them here for the slate. And then outside of them, you could look to the bench. Chris Duarte, he came in, had a pretty good game last time out. Duarte, do not mind going there to him. But outside of that, it's really just going to be Sabonis and Fox for me right there for the Sacramento Kings. So, all right, guys. Yep, that's really going to do it. I will get the player pool out closest to lock. Hopefully, I can get some more news and stuff that I can actually put into the player pool and the course. And if you guys are trying to see any of that stuff, check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. All that is up there on the Patreon as well. I dropped a 2-pick yesterday for the notes that cashed out if you were able to play that. So, yeah, can't wait. Hopefully, everyone has a pretty good day. Crush your NFL Sunday stuff as well. And we will see you guys later and tomorrow for some more NBA preseason action. Peace.